going strong for all your surf gear.
I'm surfer who wanted to be identified as Bruce. He popped into Call FM's newsroom adamant that this is not the case. He told Call FM's news that 95% of the older experienced surfers all agree that the bar's breaking characteristics have changed somewhat in the last 18 months and that the wave patterns and shapes aren't breaking like they used to do. We'll obviously try and get both sides of the story here at Call FM during the Saturday morning lifestyle show. The first use of a taser on the Coromant, about that, Minogue and a few others. But over the Whanga bar break, now before the marina was ever thought of, Whanga arguably had one of the best bar breaks in the country. I still say the Point in Raglan's pretty good, but then that's a rock based on a bar break. Anyway, Call FM had a news story. So far so good. There doesn't appear to be any change in water flow at or around the Whanga bar since the Whanga Marina opened last year. Now, under its resource management consent or resource consent conditions, the Marina Society at Whanga was expected to conduct 3 monthly surveys of the area around the harbour entrance to gauge, if there was any effect on the bar, which before the building of the marina, as the marina was going to be built, it was put into place. There was a lot of thought into the bar changing and taking away A, surfers, and B, holiday makers and people coming into town. It's like the Kaikoura whaling, isn't it, in a way, whale watchers. Anyway, the survey 2007 was taken in July, and this is before any dredging was done for the marina. And there were 2 more surveys will be done this year under the terms of the resource consent. But apparently there hasn't been any change in the bar break according to the Marina Society, but there is a wee bit of a conflict regarding the condition of the bar. Now, a long-time surfer, and we'll just call the long-time surfer Bruce, and he talks on behalf of a lot of mature surfers and grommets, lady surfers, and he reckons about 95% of the older experienced surfers all agree that the bar break's changing characteristics have changed in the last 18 months and the wave patterns and shapes aren't breaking like they used to. Well, thanks for joining me, Bruce, on our Saturday morning lifestyle show. Produce the evidence, induce action. What in your mind has happened since the dredging and the marina?
Well, we don't know what's happened, but it's definitely changed the wave. The wave is nowhere near the pristine wave it used to be. It's only we calling it a quarter bar. The takeoff is very wide, and if you understand surfing, very wide and very hard to make, and then it just goes into a big fat hole where there's nothing much happening. It might peel off as people see it from the shore, but it's not actually a really good wave like it used to be. It's not a challenge like it used to be. The odd wave does peel through, the odd one, but it should be every other one or every one.
Now, is this a sheer coincidence since the marina has taken place, the dredging, etc.? Has it happened in that space of time?
Well, it appears to. I mean, with every action, there's a reaction, So surely there may not be a big change in the flow of water, but there's definitely a change on the bar. We don't know what it's from. It could be a dry summer, but it's been more than just the summer. It's been going on more or less since they started digging the hole. And it's a balancing act, nature, and they're playing with it. It's got to change things.
Now you say dry summer, okay.
That's not really the point.
No, but I said to you the other day, we haven't had the big effects of big swells consistently like with El Nino or La Nina, whichever one comes in from the northeast. But the fact is that obviously 95% of you more mature surfers think there is something wrong.
Definitely. I can talk from the majority of surfers that I talk to and surf with on the bar. It is a gay bar. It's just not happening. It's not happening. It's changed. It's totally changed.
It wouldn't be something in the mind, the mind sense, since the marinas.
Definitely not. Definitely not. You can ask any surfer that surfs the bar regularly. You might get the odd one that says, "Oh yeah, it's still all right," but hey, it's not.
What effect is it having, A, on the surfing fraternity, I mean the locals, and B, the people visiting, the surfers visiting to use the world-renowned bar break?
Well, it doesn't stop the visitors coming in, of course, because as soon as they hear there's a swell, they're here, The internet and stuff has killed surfing in Whanga for crowds. And let's face it, it's just not happening. I don't know what's going on, but it just happens to coincide with what's happening what happened with Marina, with the digging out and etc., whether it be a fluke or what. But we're all hoping that it comes right within very short period of time, not 10 years. We're hoping it's going to be sooner because we're all getting a bit, well, some of us are getting a bit older.
Why would you think it's going to come right when in actual fact it hasn't since the dredging? What's going to make it come right? A Aladdin lamp or what?
No, it's just a balancing act, and nature takes its course, and in a period of time nature will even things out, hopefully.
Well, we see other river mouth bars at Mercury Bay, and it's well known against the environment, and that nature does take its course, and it's a cyclic thing. Could this possibly be cyclic?
Well, who knows? But talking to a guy from Pawanui the other day, he said since the waterways have been done in Pawanui, the Pawanui bar hasn't broken. There used to be almost as good a wave as this one. It hasn't been good since they started doing that work up there. They're altering nature. How can they honestly say that it's not going to change something? It has to change something. It's a balance thing.
Well, I'll come back to what I asked you originally about what effect is it having on the older surfers, and what can it do to the town, like the board manufacturers and that. Long term, if it carries on, what effect will it have on Whanga Matar?
Well, I have no idea. Surfers still come here because it's known as a good break, and you're never going to. That's always going to happen. You know, people come here because they've heard of it. But and you still get a wave out there, but it's not the wave it used to be. That's all I'm trying to say. It's nowhere near what it used to be. I mean, it used to be amazing, a race from start to finish. You know, now it's a quick race, then a dribble.
Yeah, you still haven't answered what I asked
Well,
you, and that was what sort of effect will this have long term? Can you answer my question, Bruce?
Well, I don't know what sort of effect it's going to have long term. It's just a very frustrating thing. The wave has changed. That's my point. And they're saying it hasn't. It has.
All right,
it has affected the wave.
Let me ask you this then. What would you like to see done from here? What do you, as Bruce and 95% of the mature surfers, want to see? What sort of action do you want?
Well, you can't do much, can you? Everything's been done and we just got to sit back and wait. That's all there is to it. I just don't, we can't do anything. What can you do? You can't physically change it. I mean...
Well, you can't pick the marina up and...
You can't change the bar. It'll take its own term to fix itself, hopefully fix itself. Let's face it, what can we do? We can't do a damn thing. So it's just sit back and wait and see what happens.
Could it be though with the bar break disappearing, as you say, or not being a bit more benign, could it possibly build up somewhere else around the coast here? Could that possibly be one man's poison is another man's wine? The poor bar break versus something else that may come along?
Well, it hasn't happened yet, so let's hope it does. So we want something.
Your common denominator is let nature take its effect.
Well, what can you do?
Well, you can't.
But nature's been tampered with, hasn't it? Nature has been played with. And, okay, that may not be the reason it's not as it used to be, but, hey, it all seems to coincide with the timing, so, let's face it, but, 1 and 1 equals 2. The
other thing you did say to me was, can they produce the evidence of what sort of surveys are taken?
Well, they've done their surveys and the pictures show that there's sand there, etc., but we know for a fact from surfing it, there's a big lot of sand or something missing in the middle of it because it just doesn't break properly through the middle of the wave. That's a fact. And I have noticed a lot more current going out through there as the tide's going out.
How long have you been surfing here, and how much effort do you put into surfing, say, on a given month?
I try to get out there whenever there's waves, and I've been here for over 15 years now, and I think I've, definitely had it, way better than it is now, put it that way, and not that long ago in comparison, I mean, we're talking 2 years ago there were really good waves, so, and you can't say we haven't had the swells. We've had swells which normally would break good. Even though they haven't been the big, 6-footers, it's been still good enough swells for the bar to break good. From all directions, from the southeast through to the northeast.
All right, well, I thank you for your time, Bruce. You've given your point of view. We'll try and get hold of the marina possibly for next week and see exactly what their side or their point of view is, if you like, not so much their side of the story, but their point of view and how they do the surveys.
Yep, sweet as. Thank you.
All right, enjoy the rest of the day.
I'll try.
Good on you, mate.
Cheers. Bye.